Hi, welcome to Zgadget Review. So the troubles with Cyberpunk 2077 and CD Projekt Red keep amounting. In this video, I'm going to go over pretty much everything that has happened with CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk in the last 48 hours. So let's go. Let me start with small history of Cyberpunk 2077 development. So the game was announced on May 2012 by CD Projekt Red, saying that they were working on a game called Cyberpunk. Then a teaser trailer came out on 2013. When that trailer came out, that trailer ended with release date when it's ready. Originally, the game was planned for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. The Xbox One came out in November 2013. The PlayStation 4 came out in November 2013. So this game technically was in development. If we say that 2012, when they announced that they were working on the game, there were just, initial stages of playing the game and whatever. Let's say that the game has been in development for 7 years, if we go from 2013. Finally, the game was announced for the Xbox One and the PS4 on E3 2018 with a release date of April 2020. The game got delayed later to September 2020. Then, if you were not aware, they went ahead and delayed it again to November 19, 2020. And then the game was delayed one more time. It was pushed to December 10th, 2020. So as we know, the game came out. It was sent out to reviewers early to play only on PC. And CD Projekt Red was only allowing reviewers to show footage that had been provided by CD Projekt Red to go along with their reviews. They were not allowed to show any of the footage that they had recorded. Many of the videos that you saw at the very beginning, right before launch, that was all CD Projekt Red's footage. Later on, once the game actually came out, then that's when reviewers were able to show their own recordings of what they had played. And that's when we found out that the game was broken. Now, obviously, the game is broken more on, let's say, at this point, last-gen consoles, the Xbox One and the PS4, than they are for Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, Xbox Series X, PS5, and PC. But don't get me wrong, the game is broken across the board. There is no platform that the game runs smoothly and without any issues. So when the controversy came out and everybody was complaining that this game was pretty much unplayable on the PS4 and the Xbox One, I did a video on CD Projekt Red's announcement, you can see that here, where they said that they were going to refund people their money for the game. All you had to do was contact PlayStation, contact Xbox, and that you could get your money back. Well, it turns out that they never talked to Microsoft or Sony about their plans of directing the players to contact PlayStation or Microsoft. Technically, when we all heard about this refund program, they heard about it too, because that led to people not being able to get their money back from Sony, because Sony won't give you your money back if you download a game and play it. People started hitting a wall where they were trying to get their money back from Sony, and Sony was like, we're not going to give you any money back. Despite reports of the contrary, some people were able to get their money back. So they finally made an update, and this is what the update says. Dear gamer, this is confirmation that we have received your assistance request for refunding a console copy of Cyberpunk 2077. As this email was sent automatically, we kindly ask you not to reply. We'll get back to you as soon as possible, no later than by the end of 2020, with information regarding next steps. If you own a digital copy of the game on Xbox, visit the Xbox support article for details on how to refund. If you own a digital copy on PlayStation, please wait for us to get back to you. For help with other Cyberpunk 2077 related matters, please visit our technical support website, CD Projekt Red team. Now, if you were not aware, CD Projekt Red already made their money back. That's right, they made their money back just on digital sales alone. And I'm not talking about just the development money. They got back the development money and all marketing money back, meaning that any copies that they sold on day one that were not pre-orders was just gravy from Polygon. In a series of tweets issued on Thursday, CD Projekt announced that Cyberpunk 2077 had been pre-ordered more than 8 million times. That's how much people wanted this game. Nearly three-fourths of those pre-orders were for digital copies of the game, for which CD Projekt has a higher profit margin than for physical copies sold at the same price. The company also announced that sales of Cyberpunk 2077 on Steam crossed the 50 million mark over 2 weeks ago, meaning that from that point forward, it has been receiving 80% of royalties from the platform. So that means that this company is making tons of money on this game because they did a great job at selling the game. They did a great job at not only telling us how good this game was going to be, but at showing us how good the game could be in theory based on the, let's call them doctor videos that they showed us on this game. But you know what? There's more that shows that CD Projekt Red did all these things knowingly that this game was broken. So there was an investor call. I will call it a oh shit, we fucked up call. So when they were asked why the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions of the game were so bad, this is what they said. The reason we didn't show the game on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is that we were updating the game on last-gen consoles until the very last minute, and we thought we make it in time, Iwinski said. Unfortunately, this resulted in giving it to reviewers just one day before the release, which was definitely too late and the media didn't get a chance to review it properly. That was not intended. We were just fixing the game until very last moment. That's bullshit. That's what that is. It's a total bunch of bullshit. You delayed the game 3 times in this year, this calendar year, right? Because your release date, as I stated before, was April. Then it was September. Then it was November. And then that changed to December. So actually 4 times. I guess, sorry, 3 times because the first date is the actual release date. If you delayed the game that many times, it's because this game wasn't ready. Because a lot of the bugs that this game has, it doesn't only have it in one platform. It has it in every single platform. And it's usually the same bugs. So no, there's absolutely no way that you were working on these versions of the game until the last minute and like, oops, we didn't make it in time, sorry. No, you knew that this game was broken.
You knew.
The game launched way below expectations, Kaczynski explained, going on to say that management had ignored the signals that more time was needed to make sure Cyberpunk 2077 was ready for the base PlayStation 4 and Xbox One platform. It was a wrong approach and against our business philosophy, Kaczynski said. On top of that, during the campaign, we showed the game mostly on PCs. We definitely did not spend enough time looking at PS4 and Xbox One performance. Vice President Mikhail Nowakowski added later in the call. Do you think we're idiots? Do you think that your customers were stupid? Like, when you see us and we buy the game, well, I guess maybe we are because we bought the goddamn game broken, right? When you say things like this, again, as I said in previous videos, it just drives me crazy because there's just absolutely no way that you didn't know what the PlayStation 4 game and the Xbox One game look like. Because if every time that you went to the developers or the lower people who are working on the game and they showed you the progress of the game, if they showed it to you every single time just on PC, isn't it your job to say, hey, what about the other platforms, seeing how we're not just releasing on PC? Because if that's the case, then that means you didn't do your job because you just didn't care. And they show you the game on PC and you were like, looks good, have a good day, continue working on it. Grand Theft Auto 5 looks better than this game does in certain instances. So when Cyberpunk was delayed, this is what was said about the game being delayed back in October. There's nothing wrong with Xbox or PS4 versions. There is optimization to be handled. Also, because of how we were approaching things from the get-go in terms of development. So, there is no problem with Xbox or PlayStation 4, to be honest. Nowakowski said. You fucking liar. Like, it's right there. Your statement is right there that you're lying. Then again, on November 30th, more lies. Of course, a bit lower than on Pro consoles, but surprisingly good, I will say, for such a huge world, CEO Adam Kaczynski said, responding to a question about how Cyberpunk 2077 performed on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, since it was still being hidden away. That's the answer. You can see it, it's right here, that they lied to us, right? They completely and blatantly lie to us about the game, about what the game looked like, about the issues that the game was having, and the fact that at points they have said, well, this is how we conduct business, blah, blah. But it is. You just did it, and you had your comments assuring people that this game was going to run well on the Xbox One and the PS4. And you knew that that wasn't true. CD Projekt Red has a good reputation, well, had a good reputation based on the Witcher series. I personally have never played a Witcher game, so I had no expectations, no history with this developer before until Cyberpunk 2077. And a lot of the things that I saw from reviewers and people commenting on the game when it first came out and it was having all these issues was that Witcher games have shit before with bugs, but the CD Projekt Red was very good about fixing these bugs quickly after game release. And that seemed to be the consensus that, hey, this is kind of what they do. There is just absolutely zero chance that this game looks so much better than it did. At this point, I have zero faith that you're going to fix this game. And it's not only the bugs. The game is not the game that you promised either. I'm going to do a different video on my actual, take on the overall game, because this video is already getting very long. We were supposed to get multiplayer next year. I doubt that that's going to happen. And if it does, it probably won't be until end of next year, if it happens. We're supposed to get a next gen upgrade. You should start working on that right now. Like that should be like your other priority. That you have a team just working on getting this game to work on next gen, because next year, if this game is to survive, has to be on next gen, has to be running on next gen, not just a port as it is right now, backwards compatible. My thinking is it's not going to happen either. Do you have any input on this? How do you feel about CD Projekt Red? Let me know in the comment section. That's it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. And thank you very much for watching.